when God pours out, sometimes it seems like God needs to pour out in a massive amount of rain. Sometimes when God moves, he moves drop by drop. He moves little by little, and he pours into your life, and he begins a work inside of you. And as he works, you begin to think, hey, you know what? One day I felt the drop. The next day I don't feel anything. The next day you're walking, you're like, did anything happen? Did the heavens open up? Did I experience God? And you're wondering to yourself, is anything working right now? Is God really pouring out? You see a church somewhere on the side, somewhere in the world, somewhere on another coast, that, man, God is pouring out over here, but he's not pouring out across the world. And you're wondering to yourself, is God doing something in the last days? My dear friends, God is pouring out his Spirit. He's pouring out his rain. And in different places, at different times, in different rhythms, God is pouring out his rain. And he says, I hear a sound. He didn't see a cloud. He didn't see anything coming. He heard a sound. He heard it in his spirit. God is pouring out. The rain is going to come. And so for us, it's not a moment or a time to get discouraged. When we gather in church, as a church, and we worship and we pray, and we say, God, pour out. 5 people, 6 people show up, and God is pouring out. God is pouring into those 6 hearts. God is pouring into those 10 people, those 12 people, those 20 people. God is pouring out. And many times we miss the pour out of God because we're expecting a flood of water. But God says, hey, I'm going to pour, and it's going to become consistent, and it's going to become mighty, and it's going to become wild, and it's going to become so big and so great, you're not going to be able to contain it. And maybe this is a prophetic word for us this morning, that God is pouring out his Spirit. This is not a time to give up. This is not a time to put our hands down. This is not a time for us to become lukewarm and look and observe and see what is going on around us, but say, God, you have spoken, you've said in your word that you're the God of the living, and we will see you pour out in our life.